Welcome to the Startup Croydon podcast for the latest business tips and advice for your startup business. Joining me in the awesome Creative Digital Lab this morning is TK from Finesse Foreva, a record and management company. Good morning, TK.
Good morning.
Now, I speak to a lot of guests in this podcast studio, but you have to be the very first who actually has a music label. That's pretty fascinating.
It's exciting times.
Exciting times, right? Exciting times for you?
Yeah, it is.
What's happening?
Loads, so
Tell
much. I'm tired. You can probably see the bags in my eyes.
I cannot see the bags under your eyes. You look really refreshed.
I appreciate it.
You're too young to have too much of bags under your eyes. But yeah, tell us.
Yeah, thank you. Lots going on. We just finished our big conference event on Monday. Last Monday. It was amazing. We had over 1,000 people throughout the day, and we also put on a showcase on the Friday before, so it was kind of running in conjunction with the whole Croydon Borough of Culture, and Friday's event was really about giving a platform to underground artists to perform at, so it was more like open mic vibes. We had a competition, gave away £100 cash prize, and then someone won the competition to perform then on the Monday in front of the bigger crowd in Fairfield Halls.
So you're all about supporting young musical talent, right?
Yep.
Elaborate.
For us and for me specifically, I know how I got into my field of work. That was based off of someone believing in me, giving me an opportunity, and through that one person that gave me an opportunity when I was younger, he was one of my tutors when I was studying media. Through that opportunity, I'm the man that you kind of see today, and I'm able to put on for so many other young people. But if he just didn't do that one thing for me and light my candle, I wouldn't be able to help light other people's candles.
How did he light your candle?
I was really kind of not taking the course seriously. I was kind of getting into a little bit of trouble, and kind of following off from my secondary school experience. But one day he just spoke to me in the classroom, just really stuck it on me, like no one's spoken to me before, and just said, like, you've got a lot of potential, but the way you're going down, the road that you're going down, like you won't end up achieving too much. So at that point, I said that this guy doesn't know me from nowhere, and he's speaking like this to me, and I shouldn't really allow anyone to define my life. I should be able to define it for myself, you know what I mean? So from that day on, I just started to take the course seriously. Then he brought me onto other opportunities outside of the college, because he was a freelance director, so he would bring me to gigs that he would have, working with like River Island's production team, shooting at London Fashion Week. I'm doing interviews for magazine companies, and that really just gave me exposure to the industry, just showing me that it's not just about getting a day job up in Central and wearing a suit. You could actually be dressed down, meet cool people, get paid for shooting for like 30 minutes. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I'm being exposed to other people within music. And at the same time, I'm doing like sound engineering stuff. But I saw how fashion, videography and film, music all blends together. And that kind of gave me the idea to have like a music company where I can use all of these skills that I have to express them.
Incredible, isn't it? Just one man, his vision, his belief in your potential, and from that, this cumulative effect, which then led you to going into music, right?
Yeah.
That's what I always believe in, because me being in the kind of communication sector, I just think the power of words is so phenomenal.
Definitely.
And when it's expressed with passion and conviction in somebody else, it can literally transform a life. And I heard that with Oprah Winfrey, actually. It was a school teacher who actually believed in her that changed the trajectory of her life as well. And it's so inspiring to hear that you're telling me this as well.
You can either build people up or tear them down.
Absolutely. Just through words and belief. Wow. It's just so incredibly inspiring. So tell us about your journey then. So you then went into music.
Yeah. So
at the age of just 17, right?
Yeah, so I was 17, I was in college, but I kind of had some sound skills through doing some live sound engineering stuff at church, and then through that I was able to kind of transfer those skills into a digital recording environment. So I ended up doing studio engineering for a long time, but my tutor was allowing me to borrow the camera, so I was able to like record tracks for people and also shoot the music videos. And from then on, I was just saving up money to buy studio equipment. Started off with my first studio, which was in my friend's bedroom in Streatham, and then after a short while I realized that I can't really operate a studio and business from someone else's bedroom. So yeah, me and JB, we put in a proposal to our church building that had a floor for different offices and stuff, and we realized that there was a room that was vacated for maybe about 12 months. So we said, let's just write a proposal to see if we can get it. Wrote the proposal. I know there was definitely some spelling and grammatical errors, but yeah, we ended up getting it. Yeah, we ended up getting it, and I guess that was the real foot into entrepreneurship. Do you know what I mean? We had the keys, 24 hours access, just turned 18. JB at the time was just 15 years old. Do you know what I mean? And through that, just started recording so many different artists within the community, some friends, some people that I've met through others, shooting the music videos. And then one thing led to another. Someone's like, you should do events. Started doing showcases where we had different people in the community, such as Stormzy has been on our platforms, Central C, Nadia Rose, so many different people within the community. And yeah, from then on, went on to doing parties and doing a bit of merch. And yeah, just really kind of realized kind of what business is about in a way. And it wasn't until I went to university and I graduated in TV and film. Obviously I had to do a dissertation, so when you're going through that phase you have to do a lot of reading books. And then I started to pick up a love for reading, and then I found books that I liked, and it was a key book that kind of really sprung me right in the right direction, which was called Rework, and it was talking about not being afraid to start again, rebrand, get rid of dead weight, move in a professional way if other people don't want to do that. And with that, we rebranded what we did have as our baby startup company, KSL Music, and we created 104 Forever. And yeah, from 104 Forever, rekindled our relationship with our school friend SK. He's one of 3 directors with Finesse Foreva. He just left uni, lost his pops, but was within the whole music stuff, and he said he's got something called Finesse Entertainment that he was doing with some friends. And yeah, after a night of hip-hop karaoke, we were like, we're all from Croydon, went to the same school. Do you know what I mean? We're literally birthdays day apart.
What school did you go to?
St Andrews.
Oh,
it's closed down now,
I know St Andrews. Yeah, I had friends who went there. Back in the days.
So from there, yeah, we just started Finesse Foreva. So we put the Finesse and the Forever together. So 104 Forever, Finesse Entertainment put together, and yeah, we incorporated in 2017. But we had the idea in 2016, laying
and
the foundations. Yeah, it's going amazing. I wouldn't have been able to meet so many incredible people. Even just travel, explore the world through music. Do you know what I mean?
So what's a typical day like in the day of your life as an entrepreneur in the music sector?
Every single day is different because there's always a different project. There's always a different opportunity, or people want to work with you. So it's always like having meetings and seeing what idea might make sense. I only just started working because I quit my job in 2017. And I said, I'm just going to do this music thing like full time. It was a scary moment, but just took it on. But as I was growing in my career, or as all of us was growing in our career, we said, all right, cool. As the music industry is developing, it'll be good for us to also get a job within the music industry, since we've got all of this experience now, accolades. So I've recently started working at a publishing company called Centric Music. So they're like the biggest independent music publisher in the UK. And yeah, so I'm working in the office sometimes, and then I'm at music video shoots, I'm doing music business courses, doing consultancy here and there. It's always different.
So you've got a lot. I mean, tell us about how do you plan your diary? Because you've got so many different things going on.
If you see my calendar, it's crazy. Yeah, but I would not be able to operate without calendar. Anyone watching this, you definitely need a calendar.
But what are your tips for success that you could pass on to some of our startup listeners at the moment? Are there any techniques and strategies that you deploy to make you effective and efficient in your day, in your week, in your month, and to enable you to juggle so many different balls?
Yeah, I think it's super simple. It's just one word, and it's routine. Creating a routine, and within that routine, it's not about what do other people want. Like, what would you do every single day, or what are the key 4 things that you need to do every single day or within a week that's going to make you feel fulfilled and better about yourself. So that's, for me personally, that is going to the gym, working out, playing football once a week, reading at least 10 to 20 pages a day, meditating, reading my Bible, reading different books. So I would have a book list for the year. So every year I've got a book list of different books that I'm going to go through, whether that's so I've got an audio book list and I've got a paperback book list as well, and I'll go through that. But if I do those things every single day, I know that I'm growing as an individual, because you can only really do well business wise or externally if you really input yourself on a personal level.
So that's inputting into yourself on a personal level. What about with regards to prioritizing your business goals and your strategy in that way? Do you have at the beginning of the week, for example, or the beginning of the day, do you prioritize your tasks according to your goals for the next 3 months, 6 months, or a year? Is there a strategy you use in that?
Yeah, so it starts off really at the beginning of the year, or towards the end of the previous year. Kind of lay out, okay, cool, what are the things that we're trying to achieve, what's the things that we have on, and it's really about setting, once you set that big goal, you have to set up small little goals. So it's like, okay, cool,
break them down.
Exactly. If we're going to put out maybe 6 records this year, okay, cool, what's the artist that we're working with? Have we found that artist? Yes, we have. What's the next step? We need to get them into the studio, get them working with different producers, writers, and we need to have a bank of music. Okay, cool. At what point? When do we go to the next stage to put out records? Right. Okay, once we've maybe recorded at least 15, 20 tracks, then we'll decide what the first track is. So that way we know we've got all the music and we decide what the best song to put out is.
Because people in the music sector can be very artistic, right? And Definitely. Very creative. And sometimes I find that they can struggle with the balancing of the logical and the creative side. So the planning and the execution and the goals and the strategy are very much the left brain, and the right brain is where all the musical ideas and everything come from. How do you balance those two?
It's a very good question. How do you balance? I think...
Do you think you're both left and right brain?
I think it's easy to balance once you lay it out on paper and you say, okay, cool, these are the steps. So all you really need to do is focus on each step at a time. Whereas a lot of people, or definitely even for myself at the beginning, it was like, oh, we've got to do so many things. But when you actually break it down, it's like, relax, you'll get to that one. Just do the little things each single day. Do you know
and as
long
as you get them done each single day, then you've got that peace within yourself that you know that you're going to execute what needs to be done. So you don't need to be worrying about it, procrastinating about it, thinking about it, and all that. So what's your next step? Where are you going next?
Step. The next step really is to have a hub of our own within Croydon, and that's having a building that has different studios in it. So maybe like 3 recording studios and a podcast room, couple meeting rooms, similar to Startup Croydon, but more of a musical, artistic hub. And we can deliver our music business courses out of there. We can develop artists, hire out studio time, and do you know what I mean? We can have our offices in there as well. But that's like the big goal for here first. And then once we've got that situated, it's what can we do abroad? Because obviously we're from Africa, all of us. So it's like, can we set up like a FF Africa in Nigeria or Ghana and do the same thing? Because there's a need for it. And as the music's blowing up over there as well, we can help people not get exploited as well. So love to do that.
So you've got a lot of big dreams, right? Yeah. And a lot to accomplish over the next couple of decades, right?
Yeah.
Any tips of success for our listeners?
For artists?
For any business out there, or if you feel artists in particular?
Business, because artists are businessmen as well, because they're selling a product at the end of the day. I think you gotta understand and know the value that you're providing for people. That's what business is about. It's value exchange. And I think a lot of people go into business thinking about what can they get, how much can I get from this, what can I get from this person, what can this person give me, when it should really be about what can I offer that is of value, that brings me joy, and for that I'll get a return on that. So I think it's about understanding what your value is, and once you understand what that value is, then you can monetize it, you know what I mean? But your focus should be on providing value. That's what I'd say.
And where do you learn your business lessons? Because obviously you're an entrepreneur, and I know that you had a teacher that gave you that self-belief, and they lit that candle for you. But entrepreneurship is often comes from, you know, the kind of traits and personalities and skills that you need to build a thriving business in any kind of sector. There's a specific spirit that you need for that.
Definitely.
Specific skill set that you need
for
for that.
Spirit of determination.
Right. And that doesn't just happen.
No.
That comes from your upbringing, your family.
A lot of losses.
Yeah. So tell us how you actually developed this business mindset.
I develop it really from just being able to overcome. Do you know what I mean? Because from every experience you learn something, and you can either learn something, or you can just really just pack up shop and say, all right, cool, I quit. And it's just being able to be persistent and just keep overcoming, and understand that once you defeat one Goliath, there's going to be another bigger one, and there's going to be another bigger one. But there's something that you can take from each experience, and you can't close your eyes to it. I think a lot of people don't see the value in taking L's, as we young people say.
What does L's
There's loads
mean?
of lessons, but losses.
Wow, you young people are just on another level now. I mean, I don't think we were ever talking about lessons in our 20s. Maybe when you get to your 30s and 40s, you start learning lessons. You guys are like 10 steps ahead.
Yeah.
Your generation
you have to be, especially like over here in the West, like everything's so fast. Everyone's entrepreneurial. Things are also difficult. It's also saturated. So you have to kind of, be a cut above the rest. And it's going to take loads of L's, lessons, and losses. But like I said before, from every lesson, from every L or loss, there's an experience to be taken away, and you can't shut your eye.
And often the most golden experiences come from the losses and the failures, because that's when you really reflect, and that's where the greatest lessons lie, because that's what created a mistake or an error or a fall.
Definitely, because if you keep winning, you don't learn anything really.
No, you don't actually. You just get complacent.
I think you've got the Midas touch, you know what I mean?
You think you're the Midas touch, you're the golden goose, you're just the Don, but when it actually keeps you humble as well. Well, it's so fascinating talking to you. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our listeners today?
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, simple at Finesse Foreva, and that's with an EVA at the end. And if you want to find me on socials, it's TK the Great, TK
the Great,
THA Great _ and you can find me on LinkedIn as well if you put in TK Tobena Ageku.
Fantastic.
And I just hope you're inspired by this conversation. Keep going. Whatever you're up against, you can overcome it.
Amazing advice. And also, just quickly, the Creative Digital Lab here at Startup Croydon. What do you think of it?
I think it's amazing. I think more people need to know about this. As soon as this video comes out, I'm going to be sharing it. I've been telling people about it already. But we were able to use it for some of our promo content for our event. So if you look on our socials, you'll be able to see it. So I tell people, especially if you're from Croydon, tap in. It's a resource for us to use. So
Oh, fantastic. And you have used it before, haven't you, as well? And you found you've had a good experience.
Amazing experience. Even used the solo pods to work out of. So
Croydon really needs this lab, doesn't it?
It does.
Because digital is the future. And if you're in business and if you haven't got access to digital facilities, it's just going to be so difficult.
Good Wi-Fi.
Yes, good Wi-Fi, everything else. Oh, well, it's been a pleasure, TK, having you in the studio. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
All the very best.
Take care.
Thank you.
See ya.